Welcome back to Third Phase of Moon. Blake Cousins, we've got the special report, the bogasphere. People want to know what makes this tick. We have science review over this phenomenon, and it's basically mind-blowing. What we're going to hear tonight, we're going to go in depth of what happened in Mexico moments ago. Listen up.
This nucleus that was observed, as Engineer Avila said, we can observe that there are 3 different densities that are involved. Let's let the video run a bit, and we'll have the image on screen any moment. This is the nucleus, and it's real. This is an image that was made of the sphere, that was made at the university. It's a tomography. As you can see, there are certain holes right here that are located at the equator, which is right here, right through the center. We got the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. When I saw this, I asked myself, once again, where's the energy source for it to levitate? Reason for which I started investigating how satellites have a cable and they can be charged through the cable. But I was reminded of Nikola Tesla. Nikola Tesla experimented with his famous tower, the Wonder Cliff. Let's see what he did. As you can tell, this Tesla tower, if you see it vertically, you can see that there's a tube that goes down the center, which is an electrical conductor. It goes underground, and we have certain pallets that are being generated with the current. It generates an electric current, and it's distributed up top. And when the plates move, it generates the necessary charge. Let's move forward. So then I asked myself the following. What if we grabbed the Tesla tower and we inserted it into the sphere? And since there's no river to generate those electrical charges, according to science, is only through friction. You should rub those materials together to create friction. And then I thought of this. Next image. When I generate electrical charge, we would have a field. But let's stop for a moment. Let's go back to the previous image, please. These charges are going to be distributed throughout the sphere. But there's something that is very important. There's a physical property within physics that tells you that the addition of magnetic fields that you can add to a sphere, they will counter-arrest each other. That's the Gauss law. The electrical field is equal to 0. But what if we make it rotate? So there's friction at the center. So when we start to make the sphere rotate, we start generating different fields.
All right, the special report continues right here at Third Phase Moon. Give us a big thumbs up. Now, coming up, right after we just heard from the scientists looking inside the bogasphere, what makes it tick. Now we have Dr. Stephen Greer. We shared a clip just last night, but here's more unedited video just into Third Phase Moon via Jaime Maussan and the phenomenon, the bogasphere. What did Greer have to say? Listen.
So in answer to your question, our team here is to confirm the research doing, to consult about further tests, and to do whatever we can do here. I think for the reason of OPSEC or operational security, it should be in Mexico and not in the United States, frankly, because I operate in the United States and it's very difficult. That's the epicenter of the global security state keeping this secret. Not that there aren't components here, but there it is a problem. So much so that members of Congress are routinely denied information. So I think that The other point is the scientific studies, what we want to do would include looking at certain isotopes that would determine if those metals appeared and were originated off-planet or on-planet. It's very difficult to do, it's expensive, but that's what we're going to try to do. We want to try to carbon date it from the polymer if we can get enough. We want to be able to also advise on certain physics tests that can be done. And the gentleman mentioned spinning it and what have you. We have some ideas about that. One thing as to remember, an extraterrestrial device is very different from a manufactured human 21st century. And here's how. They're usually of one part. The components are all seem to be melded together and appear as one, whereas a man-made object is this part, this part, this part. So there are man-made UFOs that are known as alien reproduction vehicles. We have a lot of them. We started making them. My uncle was Northrop Grumman. Lockheed has them, Raytheon. Those are parts and pieces, and they look like a manufactured object. The extraterrestrial vehicles are seamless. They tend to be similar to this. This has some differentiation, and they tend to have the functional components integrated as if it came out of a singular mold. Now, the manufacturing this extraterrestrial involves a type of what's called trans-dimensional physics, where you set up an energy field and it aggregates the materials together and forms it as a whole, as opposed to us digging something up and welding it together in a machine shop. So we know the difference between extraterrestrial, say, manufacturing and 21st century human manufacturing. Now the question is, there have been extraterrestrial involvement with this planet for probably millions of years, certainly for millennia, and is this object from a prior extraterrestrial involvement, or even an ancient civilization that lived here that was perhaps even human or part human that made these? This is why we want to be able to date it. If it's 5,000 years old or 2,000 years old, that's a huge bit of data, because at that point you realize, well, it can't be anything made recently, and therefore how was it made? Because aluminum has I think needs 10,000 degrees to smelt it. We didn't have aluminum till pretty recently, and other components. The other question is looking for various elements that may not be even in our periodic table. So in other words, it could have elements in it, but this is a very, very esoteric level of astro science and physics, where you'd have to employ very specific labs, and the labs receiving it will not know it came from this. So what we're going to do is more like a double-blind situation. The testing laboratories will have no idea the origin of it. But no, the device, I think, should remain here in secure hands. At some point, we do want to figure out the physics of it, because one of my objectives of why I left my medical career was when I realized they were keeping this cabal of fascists and sociopaths have been hiding from us, the people, the means to have free energy, no pollution, no poverty within 20 years. And look at the world that we have now, on the brink of nuclear war. It's ridiculous. So I think we can do better as a people, and that's what we hope to do. So this could be the answer. Could be, yeah.
All right, so as the special report right here at Third Phase Moon continues now, after Stephen Greer made some statements, it's incredible. We're getting the person who recovered it, the farmer himself. He takes some questions. This guy, if this is 100% legit, and it's looking pretty interesting what's going on over there, and hopefully we get more science on this. Team with Dr. Greer is working on it, but if this is what it is, this guy right here, he's the one that brought it to the world. Listen to what he has to say.
Testing. Good morning, everyone. Thank you very much for this invitation. My name is Jose Restrepo. I'm the person who found the sphere. It's very exciting to be here, but I'm nervous at the same time. I'm nervous because obtaining this sphere is like obtaining a signal which is aware, a signal which is conscious, a signal which is peaceful. And I also feel proud because I gave it to David, who's an engineer and who gave it to Mausan. So I feel proud because I told Mr. Mausan, you are a very important person and you can transmit this reality to the world, because there's been other spheres that have been kept secret. So this is unique. And for a citizen, I obtained it. I had physical maladies, but it was just temporal. When I picked it up, my mouth dried up and I had a metallic taste in my mouth. And there are other videos that said that I almost lost my life, that I lost my tooth, that I lost my hair, but those are only rumors, of course. Here I am giving eyewitness testimony. Thank you very much. Why was it that you face the public for the first time right now? He's a shy person, but he allowed us to share his name so that the world knows who found that sphere. Why didn't you want to be made public? I have 2 children. I have 2 sons, and they don't like too much attention. I think it would be best to be discreet, but when I saw the investigation being done by Mexico's Autonomous University by Rodolfo Garrido, I decided that it was something serious, it was something real. So when I told David, go ahead and ask Mausan if he's interested in obtaining this sphere. It's like a treasure. Do you think it's dangerous? Yes, I do think it's dangerous. Even treasure hunting for gold can also be dangerous as well. By just obtaining something, because the government will show up all of a sudden asking for that material, archaeologically speaking. Now imagine something like this. It's something unique that we have it. What happened to you physically when you were carrying the sphere home? Well, there's a picture where I'm carrying it on my belly, and that night I felt nausea, I threw up, I felt bad, and I went to the doctor, but I did not want to tell him the truth. You didn't tell him the truth? No, I didn't want to tell the doctor the truth. I remained quiet. I told him it was some allergy or something. And how do you feel right now? Right now I feel fine. I feel happy because we're transmitting this information. So the video is authentic? Of course it's authentic, and you can see it with the close-up. When it was right next to it, it started humming. The sphere started humming, and that's when I turned around and looked at it. It was the humming that called my attention, and that's when I started filming. It was around 8 minutes, and it was cut, but we were changing from one place to another, trying to get a better shot. So, number 1, there's magnetic fields. Number 2, you have high voltage lines nearby. And these high voltage lines transmit electricity at 10,000 volts. So what happened? The sphere got too close to the lines. It got too close to the cables that apparently were 10,000 volts. There's a small spark, and yes, it was like burned over, because I saw the spark and I saw how it impacted the sphere. I listened to the short circuit because it was more or less a few feet away from here. There are certain people who say that the other sphere is different from this one. No, it's the same exact sphere. It's the same sphere that was filmed. It's the same sphere that I picked up. It's the same one. I was getting ready to go, and when I realized all the grass was dried up, It was sitting on the grass for 15 minutes and it dehydrated the grass. Well, we realized that the land was dehydrated the day after, actually. And I put my hand on top of the soil. Were you afraid? Well, yeah, I was afraid, but I was also curious. When I got a hold of it, it was so impressive that I did get a little bit scared, but I also felt internal peace. What? Yes, I felt internal peace, like tranquility. On the inside, at home, there's a bed, and it was emanating feelings of tranquility, of peace. Did you ever think that you would be here in Mexico doing an internationally televised press conference? Never. I never imagined this. I'd like to thank you for being here with us. No, I'd like to thank all of you here. Thank you for being brave. Thank you for being courageous. What do you think of all the people that discredit this? Well, yes, there are certain people who say that they had it made and they sent it to you by mail. I was just laughing. And that you bought it on Amazon and they sent it via Federal Express. And that's the exact same sphere that I found. It's the same one that was filmed. It's beautiful, actually. I do feel proud. We feel proud for you as well. Thank you very much.
Yep, he's getting a standing ovation over there. Everybody's cheering him on. And again, this special report right here at Third Phase of Moon, it's just the tip of the iceberg. We're working really close with Jaime Maussan, and it's interesting on how this story is continuing in a forward motion. It's just the tip of the iceberg, and I got a feeling there's more of these things that are going to be being shown. The next segment in this special report is interesting because there's a lot of debunkers out there, and again, people got to keep an eye on this stuff. And right here at Third Phase Moon, we're kind of suggesting what we're looking at is it's real, no AI or CGI, but possibly manipulated. We're not 100%, but it does seem legit. Now, Verdad Occulta did his own test via drone to see if it would simulate the videos that are going viral right now. And he says these things are real. The debunkers got it wrong. Listen.
Artificial intelligence, we can discard it. So, I did an experiment through, now you'll see, through a drone, a simple drone making a model. Okay? In this case, I used a G-mini drone that can support a limited load. 0.90 grams. 90 grams. That sphere currently weighs 10 kilograms, 133 grams. It initially weighed 2 kilograms. We have the testimonies. We have the photographs. What else do we need? It's false, right? We have photographs of 6 kilograms and we have photographs of 9 kilograms. That is evolving. What has been said today is that the first measurements on the Purnell scale were giving 330. We are talking about double the aluminum alloy used in the aerospace field, including NASA. It has been modified, it has lost, its weight has increased, and there it is, perhaps dead, I don't know. I want you to pay attention to this explanation. With this explanation we can show the world that yes, we can visually see something that resembles it, but look at its pendulum movement, and obviously it weighs 90 grams because it is a reconstruction and it is a drone. There are currently drones that can support large loads, but not just any drone can lift 10 kilograms. Okay? I want you to observe the pendulum movement it has here. The important thing is that it does fly, airplanes fly, drones fly, UFOs fly. Flies fly, animals fly, and Superman too, but the fact that they fly does not mean that they are the same. What we observe here, gentlemen, is that at some point it will collide with a branch, and that it will do that because it is a pendulum. It will automatically begin to rotate in a way that you will see, right? William's testimony, because I'm not only sticking with the recording, but with the testimony, attests that the sphere, a very similar one, a first cousin, same recordings, touched the plants. It touched the plants. What does that mean? That in the recording it touches the plants and the movement is linear. It is linear. There is no type of alteration like a pendulum that impacts something. We have the testimony and we have the recording. In Julio's recordings, sorry, Jose's, we see the aerial shots where nothing can be seen in the distance. Here I have used a 15 meters cable. I can make a 50 meters and 100 meters cable with a model and 200 meters too. Okay? But movement is movement. Look when a drone is inert supporting the object how it spins. And that we have a mesh and people say, no, let's place it on the inside, let's do it better. Yes, to discredit, because we do not want to pay attention to the testimonies and what they are telling us. With this we can rule out that Williams and Jose's recordings were not made with a pendulum. That there must be more that have been made with a pendulum to poison the phenomenon. Yes, of course, but I stick to tangible evidence, which is my job, all possibilities. Not wanting to believe, but proving. And we are going to add to that, and we are ignoring that the sphere has been levitating and weighs 10 kilograms and that it weighed 2 kilograms, then it weighed 6 and then it weighed 9.
You conclude that the videos we saw were not made with a drone.
I conclude based on Williams' testimony, Williams' recording, that it was not made with a drone. And the same case of Buga's sphere. In Buga's sphere, Don Jose's first recording, I conclude that it was not made with VFX and that it was not made with a drone, since I see shots where the drone is not seen or would never be seen. Now, there are recordings that are possibly emerging, but not these. We do
not have the testimonies. They are coming forward, gentlemen. They are coming forward. Hey, they are risking everything in front of the world. They are going to look like liars. Okay, we also had some very important international guests, a member of the American Congress, Stephen Greer, and also attorney Donnie Chihan.
So we're going to keep you updated with regards to what's going on over there in Mexico. Verdad Occulta, I got to say, he did a pretty good job trying to tell all these debunkers, if you were to tie it up on a string, it wouldn't look exactly the way the legit videos look. You can see imperfections with his test. But again, we're going to keep a close eye on this, and we wanted to let everybody know, don't worry, we've got a UFO video coming up right here in just a few moments. But give us a big thumbs up for the special report and the ongoing investigation. We're in close proximity to Jaime. We're talking to him all the time, and we just want to see it fly before our cameras. That's what we're asking. Hopefully we get it. Stay tuned for that. Now, a new UFO video just in. Watch this.
¿Qué pedo con una pelota que está allá? ¿Qué pedo con esa onda? Mira como una luz alrededor y está estática. Aquí en Colombia hay un montón de estas esferas. Vean. Y le tengo todos los píxeles puestos al celular. Está estática. Miren, tiene como va subiendo. Tiene como luz arriba. ¿Qué será eso? Subió un poco. Está lejísimo de aquí. Estoy en Medellín, Colombia, precisamente en Sabaneta. ¿Qué se hizo? ¿Se perdió? Ah, no, ahí está. Ahí está todavía. Vean. Es precisamente igual a la esfera de Buda. Bueno, que es un avión lo que va pasando acá. Es un avión y esta es la esfera. ¿Qué será eso, Aquí en Colombia está pasando cosas muy raras.
Okay, I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison, the original to the left, and I zoomed it up approximately 300 to 400%. Obviously, there's something up there in the sky. We're getting a pretty good look at it. Brent, what country is this coming in from? It's broad daylight. I'm digging this.
Yeah, Blake, I believe this is coming in from the South American region somewhere. I can't give you exact coordinates, but what we are looking at is, again, real legitimate footage of, again, it looks like the sphere, the bogasphere, making its appearance once again, and now we have it on camera. These things are raining basically across the sky in that region, and we've seen it now in Russia, China, and even in America. The videos are flooding. It seems like it's not just in that region anymore. This is a worldwide phenomenon happening.
Yeah, Japan and other countries, I'm sure, are receiving information with regards to the people, the public, filming these things on a daily basis, 24/7. It's happening. And again, we're broadcasting here from the Hollywood Hills. We want to know where you're chiming in from. We wanted to also let you know we're thinking about a symposium where we could invite the public and do this get together in Los Angeles somewhere and showcase the latest, the greatest UFO evidence from around the world and some things that the world hasn't seen. Let us know if you're down for that, and if you got any ideas, let us know. We'll keep everybody posted. Now, again, June 24th, Asymmetric Disclosure, our latest documentary, groundbreaking. We were there on location during some big times, the hearings, the UFO hearings. We spoke with Congressman Burchett, Dr. Greer, and let me tell you, we are blowing up. It's exciting. It's going to be available June 24th, just right around the corner. The link is below. We're going to roll the trailer, and make sure, share it with your friends. Tell them it's going to be available worldwide, streaming, Amazon, Apple TV. The link will take you to the right place. Everybody, be safe. Asymmetric Disclosure. It's about to drop.
So you really have to have a select committee in the Congress and a special office in the White House to really master all this information and unpack it, and then take the action to stand down these malicious programs. And that is going to be a very heavy lift and a very dangerous operation.
The only way you're going to get to it is somebody at that executive level that says enough is enough, cut the money off, bring these people in, let's go.
Maybe just give them a threat, a very light threat. Let them know, like, this is not to be talked about any further. And if you do, something can happen.
You're either on the side of the law or you're not. And if not, which we can prove they are, you strip them of all that cover.
All we need is one to be accurate. And this whole concept of UFO crash retrieval non-existing completely falls apart.
They're doing stuff for spite. They're doing stuff to protect certain individuals or certain industries. And it's detrimental to all of us.
Oh yeah, people are all talking about World War III and all that. Well, you know, if we don't change the trajectory we're on, we're going to be in a big problem. Nobody with any sense wants fortune and glory dealing with this. That's the mistake that they all make.